Hello, Dev Bootcamp. My name is William Bendix, and I would love nothing more than to be a part of your program. So before I talk about myself, I want to share one of my hobbies with you. I'm going to teach you how to make beer. Beer is made by a chemical reaction that happens inside of yeast. And yeast eats sugars, and they break it down into alcohol and carbon dioxide. And both of these things combined become very delicious. The first step is known as creating mash. And the mash is a mixture of warm water and malted barley that resembles something like oatmeal. The warm water extracts the starches from the barley and breaks them down into simple sugars that the yeast can eat. This usually takes about an hour or so. And after we're done, we filter out all the barley and we're left with a sweet liquid that we call the wort. The next step is known as the boil, where we bring the wort to a boiling temperature and just add the hops. Hops are what give beer its distinct bitter flavor. After this, we cool down the wort, and we're left with a sweet hoppy liquid that still doesn't taste anything like beer. We add the wort and the yeast into a plastic jug that we call the carboy, and then the fermentation process starts, where we let the yeast do its thing for about a week or so, and we do this in a dark place. After this is done, we can put what sort of resembles beer into bottles. Any yeast that's left over are going to continue to eat those sugars and turn it into more alcohol and carbon dioxide. And this is when the beer becomes carbonated. After a little while longer, the next step is to refrigerate the bottles, and once this is done, you can drink it. And that's how you create beer. So now a little bit about myself. I graduated from the University of Illinois with a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering, and I've been living in Austin for the last 2 years, working for an IC company. Working in hardware has given me a really large skill set that would really be applicable in a lot of different industries, but there's specific reasons why I want to go into web development. I feel like hardware's limitations are based on limitations that just come from the physical world. Whatever you design, you're going to be limited by the technology available or the resources at your disposal. But software's limitations really only come from your imagination. I mean, aside from, running out of memory or processing power, you're really capable of creating something new and amazing all the time. And anyone can do it. I mean, if I purchase a domain name and I have access to the internet, I can create a rudimentary website that's all my own. And so even aside from my career, there's my moral belief that I really believe the internet is the social level playing field that's really benefited society as a whole. Look at businesses are now able to communicate with their customers halfway across the globe, and journalists were able to see what was going on during the Arab Spring. And I have an entire online encyclopedia in my phone all the time. I mean, the list goes on. And so I really want to be a creator of the technology that I think is the most important invention of my lifetime. I want to thank you for looking at my application, and I would really love to be a part of this experience. Thanks again.